Hey y'all, the Lady Empath 1111 y'all. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Queen of Kings Tarot, y'all. Where behind every king is his queen, child. That is us, the Divine Feminine. Of course, our kings, they the Divine Masculine, y'all. We're gonna get into this energy, y'all. We're gonna get into the emotions. See how your person feeling, or this could be about you. All right, I got Divine Feminine, so I think this might be you, child. I don't know. Or your person is thinking heavily about you. The very first card out is Divine Feminine. Now, there's some type of secret, though. I got secret accounts. What is this, Spirit? Turning your back. Came out in the reverse. Phony, trickster, illusions, fairy tale. Divine Feminine, I see the energy of contemplation for you about your union or someone around you that you could have turned your back on recently. I feel like you felt like this was a fairy tale, but it was like a phony trickster type of energy, some type of an illusion. But what you don't understand is you've been heavily mirroring. Mirroring is here, child. Your Divine Masculine. Because I got bad news with mirroring from a Divine Masculine. Closing a cycle. Yeah. Wish. Yeah, this you, child. You over here like yeah. You're closing a cycle though. Yep, funeral. Come on. Hold on, let me scoot back just a little bit so I can get some more on here. Let's adjust these. What's your channel song? I want you around, Snow Allegra. I want you around. Let me get two more, Spirit. Oop, okay. Oh, come on, Divine Masculine, come out, child. Okay, and police station, what the hell is this? I heard emergency situation. Yeah, I heard 911 emergency. So I have Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine both out here. Now, what I'm looking at is I feel like you are on the brink of, or you have recently turned your back on this situation between you and whatever this energy is. You felt like there was some type of trickster, phony, or illusion, right? Like you were like, okay, is this a fairy tale, or is this really what I truly wish for and what I truly desire? You do feel like there is something hidden or something that you do not see, but you're definitely ready to close a cycle with your Divine Masculine, y'all. Come on, with your Divine Masculine. It says turning your back, closing this cycle, Divine Masculine. But anything that we know, and we talked about this on my live, if you guys follow me on TikTok, right, is that everything in life is cyclical. Right, it is. And it's not until you close the cycle that the cycle ends. So I do feel like I'm talking to a Divine Feminine where you've had to close some type of cycle when it comes to your union with your person. Because even though we know that we are mirroring each other, at some point you still have to take control and take back your power is what I'm seeing here, Divine Feminine. So I feel like you've been called to recently take back your power, because there was definitely some type of hidden information or something that you were not aware of, or you just felt like there was a heavy energy of uncertainty. But I do feel like with this mirroring energy that there are things that both you and your Divine Masculine have to close out. There's always cycles, y'all, that we both have to close out when you're talking about a divine union. See, the thing is, though, Divine Feminine, when you get into this energy, child, this thing say fucked up over you, right? When you get into this energy, then you know that it's time for you to do what? Take back your power. See, the thing about the journey, y'all, the twin flame journey, soulmates, divine counterparts, kingdom spouse, journey to self, I don't care what you label it, right? The thing about this journey is, though, when you get to this point, it's time for you to take back your power, right? It's time for you to take back your power, because even in the journey, y'all, we will give up power. We do. Like, we just want to follow God, right? You want to follow God. You want to be obedient to what you hear, right? You really want to see this thing through, and you will see it through. But that doesn't mean that you are powerless in the journey, right? It doesn't mean that you are powerless in the journey. What it means is that you have to find yourself in the journey. Yeah. That's what I just heard. Somebody, this is more about you finding yourself in this journey. See, the journey is going to be the journey regardless. And there are certain things that we will never be able to change, because it is a journey to lessons, right? It's a journey to learning more about yourself. It's the journey to completing certain cycles in your life. All of these are things that have to take place along the journey. But what you are being called to remember at this time is that you are the divine feminine. What is that? That you're magical, that you create your own reality, right? And anytime you feel like there is something hidden, then it's time for you to go inward, right? Turn your back could definitely mean turning your back or a deaf ear, right, to what is taking place around you so that you can truly see what's going on. Because there is some type of phony trickster or illusionary energy where you begin to second guess what's going on. But sometimes I heard you got to put your face to the wall. Yeah, that's what I just heard. Sometimes you got to put your face to the wall. What does that mean? You got to go inward. You got to be able to see God and really understand what it is that you're experiencing at this time, even if it's concerning your union. And for some of you guys with divine feminine and divine masculine here, this could be you bringing yourself into balance and really discovering those things about you as you begin to turn your back on the world and begin to focus your energy inward. Then you can truly identify any trickster, phony, or illusionary spirits that you have been going through yourself. See, somebody, you could have recently gotten some type of bad news, but whatever this bad news is, it caused you to have to look into the mirror and close a cycle in your life. You have things that you wish for, things that you desire, and things that you want for yourself. But when you get into the point where you're frustrated, it's time to end some things so that you can balance out your own masculine, feminine, and masculine energy before it's too late. Before it's too late. What else can you tell me, Spirit? What does the collective need to know at this time? Come on, Emperor. Damn, Emperor. Okay, Emperor. So this is definitely about either you taking leadership and authority over your life or your divine union. What's the Emperor, Spirit? Okay, Spirit said put them over as they came out. Okay, so this Emperor is coming right over bad news and divine feminine. Y'all know I get to organize and shit now. What do we need to know about the Emperor? What do we need to know about the Emperor, Spirit? 10 of Cups, damn. Come on, 10 of Cups. This is what I'm hearing, y'all. You could be dealing with a divine counterpart here who they're keeping it a secret how they feel about you is what I just heard. With this secret and mirroring, but maybe you haven't really been honest with this person about the depth of your feeling either is what I'm hearing. But with the Emperor to the 10 of Cups coming over secret accounts and mirroring, I feel like you and this person are mirroring each other. Both of you guys want happiness. Both of you guys want a family. Both of you guys want rainbow sunshine. Y'all want all of that. Someone could be LGBTQ, right? But you want it all. But I feel like both of you guys could kind of be keeping this a secret and not really telling each other what it is that you want from each other or from the other. Yeah, you're not being honest. I got the Ace of Swords coming right over, turning your back and closing a cycle. See, you have to close this cycle for yourself. 8 of Swords, trapped in an illusion of a fairy tale is what I heard, because with the 10 of Pentacles under the bottom of the deck. See, what you have to understand is that you create the life that you deserve. Anytime you feel like there's some type of an illusion or fairy tale, trickery, spirit, and it's based on what you truly wish for and desire, that's self-limiting doubts. That's self-limitations. That's keeping you trapped in your own illusion. This is an illusion, y'all. See, the phony trickster illusion and this 8 of Swords are very similar, because in this picture, this person is bound by the hand, but really they aren't, right? Really they aren't. This is a trickster spirit that someone is going through in your divine union is what I'm hearing. See, you're falling under the illusion. I just saw 909 on the timer, 909. You're falling prey to the illusion that your union is holding you hostage when it's really not. You are free. See, what we fail to understand is that you have to take back control of your life, even if you're in a divine union. Because if you sit here and feel like you're being trapped or bound by a person, then you're not, y'all. You can make decisions on your own. It's something that you needed to see clear about whatever this phony trickster energy is. I want to see what this 8 of Swords energy is. What's the Eight of Swords, Spirit? Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. You got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you want, right? Let me tell you something. If you're in a divine union, and I keep telling y'all, we all have free will, y'all. We do. And if you get to the point where you feel like this is an illusion, you start feeling trapped by the journey, you're not even enjoying the journey. Let me tell you, if you're not enjoying the journey, then what's the point? Right? What's the point? Why do you want to be in something that is causing you hurt, right? Is causing you anxiety? It's something that you have to learn for yourself. What's your channel song? Easy. Come on. Easy by Danny Lee. Someone's name could be Danny, Danielle, DL. Could be somebody's initials. But this journey is supposed to be easy. Meaning, not easy to, oh, it's just sunshine and roses and everything is just going to fall into place. No, it's supposed to be easy in that you trusting in God. And while you understand that there will be challenges, why? Because there's nothing in life that is not challenging. Let's be clear, right? But it's not supposed to be binding, right? It's not a spirit of binding. It's not a binding spirit, right? You shouldn't feel trapped, right? 11:11 on the timer. It's a journey of alignment, right? It's a journey of internal alignment, right? And when you begin to understand that for yourself, if you over here feeling like you trapped and you bound, then you have to be honest with yourself that there is something that you are missing. What's that Queen of Swords with the Eight of Swords? Heavy air energy. What's the Queen of Swords with the Eight of Swords, Spirit? Yeah, Five of Swords, somebody, woo. Air energy, a lot of air energy. Eight of Swords, Five of Swords, and Queen of Swords. Divine Feminine, you're really trapped in your head at this time. You are. There's a lot that's taking place, but I feel like this is a spirit of illusion is what I'm hearing as well. This is a phony trickster spirit that is overcome. Right? You as a divine feminine. And it happens, y'all, all the time. Like I listen to different things that come up on YouTube, and there is a lot of people that really fall victim to the illusion when it comes to this journey, y'all. I was listening to one of my favorite readers this morning as I was walking the beach, and she was saying something about, I'm just so busy with my life. I don't care nothing about my twin flame. I'm busy with my grandbabies. Your life shouldn't be about your grandbabies. Let's be clear. It's just not. Right? We cannot keep living our life for other people or through other people, right? So you can't live your life through your children anymore, so they grown. So now you get grandchildren, right? Now you're trying to live your life through your grandchildren. All of those, y'all, are to distract the focus off of you and your journey. See, the thing about your twin flame is they will always still direct you back to you, right? They're gonna direct you back to you. So anyone who's avoiding their twin flame, avoiding the journey, I don't want nothing to do with this person, all you doing is avoiding yourself, child. All you doing is avoiding yourself, because all this person is doing is showing you parts of yourself. And this is a message for somebody. You are trying to distract, right? Five of Swords, right? Eight of Swords, Queen of Swords. You over here trying to distract yourself from something that is supposed to 13:13 on a timer, right? Elevate you. And it really, I'm not going to say it annoyed my spirit, because it didn't. But when I heard it, the first thing I thought is, girl, stop fooling yourself. That's literally what I heard was, girl, stop fooling yourself, right? Because anyone who is powerful, and this is a powerful woman, let's be clear, this is a powerful reader. She's somebody that I follow, and she's on the twin flame journey, but she's also still healing a lot of things in her life. So what I see, again, my opinion, y'all, I'm not calling nobody's name. I just tell you what I see because God gives me messages. Someone could work in food service. I just saw a Cisco truck go by, right? Someone work in food service. Someone could work in restaurant management. Right? Someone could work for Cisco, hell, right? But what I'm hearing God say is, though, yeah, I'm seeing an emergency vehicle ride down the beach. This is an emergency. Y'all see this damn police car here, right? This is an emergency that somebody, you had to be able to understand some things about this journey for yourself. Right. And what you got to understand is, if you're avoiding your twin flame, if you over here like, I don't have time for him or her because I'm just focusing on my grandkids. I'm just focused on da-da-da-da. It's not that you're supposed to be focusing on the person anyway, but you are supposed to be focusing on whatever this phony trickster or illusionary spirit that is telling you you don't want to be bothered with your twin, because what you're saying is you don't want to be bothered with your soul. What's the Ace of Swords to the Ten of Cups, Spirit? What's the Ace of Swords? Let's get the Ace of Swords first. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords. High Priestess. Your intuition is blocked because the High Priestess is in the reverse. And I had to look at the bottom of the deck to make sure my cards aren't reversed, and they are not. Right? So the High Priestess just came out in the reverse. Yeah, you're lacking clarity, but you're not following your intuition. And that's why we in this turning your back in this cyclical energy. You could have recently turned your back on your twin flame, is what I'm hearing. Or turned your back on this situation entirely because your intuition is blocked, though. What's the High Priestess in the reverse, Spirit? Come on, the Chariot with the King of Cups behind it. Hold on, y'all. The Chariot with the King of Cups behind it. Y'all, it came out just like that. I didn't even know it was two cards, right? But it's the Chariot, and behind that is the King of Cups. Sometimes things are hidden in plain sight, is what I just heard. Sometimes things are hidden in plain sight, y'all. And the Emperor and the King of Cups coming right here with the Chariot. See, something is hidden in plain sight. Somebody, you may not realize that you with your twin, is what I just heard. Right? Somebody, you may not realize the person that you were with could be your person or is your person. Right? Because your own intuition is being blocked and you're not able to see something clearly because this is connected to your purpose and your destiny, but you really trapped in your own head about it. When God shows you who your person is, you got to get out of your head. This is a message for Divine Feminine. This is your king, but you trapped in your head by an illusion, right? Some type of an illusion, a trickster spirit. Someone could be doing magic to block your intuition. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. Somebody could be blocking your intuition, or this could just be you because you are over here in your head needing to make some type of decision with this Two of Wands energy about what it is that you want to do in your life. But it's something that needs to come to an end. What's this funeral? What's funeral, Spirit? Come on, Ten of Pentacles. The idea that this isn't your person. Somebody, you got to let go of the idea that this isn't your person. Let me tell you something. The only way to... I just heard the spell has been broken. When you come into not only the realization, because a lot of times we realize things, but we don't want to admit it. For somebody, this is about you. You've come to the realization that you're dealing with your person, but you don't want to admit it. For whatever reason, you don't want to admit it. But this is leading you to make some type of decision and plan how you want to move forward for your own legacy building. And it's coming with you letting go of the idea that this isn't your person. You got funeral to the Ten of Pentacles. What's the Ten of Pentacles in the funeral, Spirit? You got to make the decision to choose happiness, to choose legacy building. Yeah, and to release fear. Nine of Swords. Divine Feminine, you're going to have a visitation, or you recently had a visitation is what I'm seeing. This could have been in a dream state. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. But there's a visitation that's taking place in your life. You're receiving messages. You got to release the fear. Somebody, you're just afraid to be happy. Like you've been through so much in your life. Come on, Judgment in the reverse. Judgment in the reverse. You got to release the fear and begin to accept that this is a part of your awakening and that this is a part of your journey. Somebody, you could even be dealing with a catalyst. It doesn't mean that they aren't a divine masculine, right? Somebody, you may not be dealing with your twin, but you're dealing with a catalyst divine masculine that's still pushing you to grow, right? It's still pushing you outside of yourself, right? But you have to make some type of decision to release the fear. September 20th could be significant. October 20th. What's the Nine of Swords with Judgment in the reverse? You got to release the fear and the anxiety because this is about your rebirth and your stability. King of Pentacles to the Death card. And this is the death and rebirth. Something is being born again or stabilized in your energy. In order for you to be able to see something clearly. What's the King of Pentacles here with this death and rebirth card, Spirit? Yeah, the moon, your fears. You have a lot of subconscious fears about what it is that you deserve, is what I'm hearing. See, the King of Pentacles is grounded, stable business leader, right? But when you meet people or you dealt with people who are less than that, right? You may be suffering from some type of fear of repeating the same mistakes that you've experienced in your past. Yeah, Pieces by Lettucey. Pieces of Me. Pieces of Me is your channel song by Lettucey. See, you're putting back the pieces of your soul is what I heard. You're gathering the pieces. And that's what this death and rebirth card is about. But you have to make that decision. Like, God's not going to force you to rebuild. Somebody, you could be in the rebuilding stages of your life is what I just heard, Divine Feminine. You could be in the rebuilding stages of your life. And when you're in the rebuilding stages of your life, God will send in someone who's going to help you, even if it's temporary, y'all. Everyone that comes in your life in there for a lifetime, we got to get out of that. Everybody that comes along ain't your divine masculine. They are a divine masculine, but they may not be yours. They may just be sent to be a catalyst to help you stabilize the foundation of who you are. And then they move on, right? They move on and invite in or make room for your true person. Pieces. Yeah. 9 of Wands. This you, Divine Feminine. You're a wounded warrior energy. Right? You're a wounded warrior energy. That's you. You're determined, right? But you are kind of beat up a little bit, child. Yeah, you carrying a whole lot on your back is what I'm seeing. Yeah, you're carrying the load. You've been carrying the weight. I heard generational weight. You've been carrying a lot of weight with this 9 of Wands energy. Someone, you definitely have a lot of fire in your charts. And air. I'm seeing fire and air. A lot of air. Shit, 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, Queen of Swords. We got the Star. I'm a wishing on a star to follow where you are. Somebody, you called in a past life connection. Let's talk about it. I'm a wishing on a dream to follow what it means. Yeah, see, you got into this wounded warrior energy. Somebody, you could work for Waste Pro or in waste management. I just saw the Waste Pro truck go by. I heard taking out the trash. See, when you get to the point where you just taking out the trash, that's when you get in these 9 of Wands energy. But that's when your heart is the purest. I heard God say your heart is heavy. But when your heart is heavy, that's when it's really pure, y'all. That's when you just open, child. You just like, you know what, God, whatever it is that you want, I want. What, right? Whatever it is that you desire for me, that's just what I want, right? So when you get into that energy, you begin to pray. See, somebody, you got on your knees. You got on your knees. You said, you know what, these pieces of me, right? I can't. I need to be able to put the pieces together again. And you begin to hope and you begin to wish and you begin to pray and you begin to heal and you begin to have faith in God. And when that happened, you called in your past life soulmate, y'all. 6 of Cups. You begin to call in because you begin to really have the desire for change with this 10 of Wands energy, and you begin to connect with your heart. And when you connect with your heart, God is going to begin to align those things in your life that also do what, y'all? Connect with your heart. That's the universe. That's spirit, y'all. That's how it works. So when you begin to pray and you begin to call and you begin to kneel and you begin to hope and you begin to pray, you begin to do these things for yourself. What you do is call in change. Somebody, you called in change. What's the Page of Cups here, Spirit? Victory. You called in victory. 6 of Wands. You called in happiness. You called in your soul tribe who is going to recognize you for the beauty and the magic of who you are. See, you're magical. Wands are magical, y'all. Let's be clear. It's fire energy, but it's also about magic, y'all. And when you wave that wand of victory is what I'm hearing, right? You wave the wand of victory, meaning that you stood up and you realized that you are victorious. You are victorious. Any other messages out of this deck before I change? Come on, the world. There's a cycle that's closing for you at this time. It's just what I heard. There's a cycle. What's the world, Spirit? No more bitter family. No more bitterness is what I'm hearing. See, you're closing some type of cycle that has to do with the experiences of your childhood, experiences with friends, experiences with family. And you're calling in your soul tribe. Somebody, you can have a first cousin that you're really close to. You know, y'all understand each other a lot. This is someone who understands you better than anyone. This person is going to help you close out some type of cycle, or you're helping this person as well, is what I'm saying. Somebody, you get married, child. This is a close contractual relationship. Somebody, you got somebody coming in that wants to build with you. They want to marry you. This is a joining together, and it's coming right over the Chariot with this King of Cups, but you don't even see it because the High Priestess is in the reverse. You don't see this. Yeah, there's something that's changing, and you don't even see it. See, when you get into this trickster, phony, illusionary spirit, I just heard your first cousin told you this. Somebody, you and your first cousin have a spiritual closeness. God speaks to your cousin, or you speak to your cousin through God. It's something like that. But there's a close relationship with somebody and their first cousin. But there's a lot that's changing in your life. This is literally, y'all, look at this. This is beautiful. Both of these cards are similar, y'all. Packing bags and moving on. I don't care if that shit is on a camel or in a truck, child. We moving on. There's a lot of change that's taking place in your life. That's represented by the number 9. March 9th or September 3rd could be significant. Somebody could be moving in with your person. Yeah, see, there's a divine masculine who's been working on their stability, y'all. This came out in our live on TikTok last night. There's some type of change that's taking place. There's a divine masculine who's working on their stability. And they know that it's important to live with love, but be able to provide security and maintain consistency. And there's a lot of change and movement that's taking place. This is someone who wants to relocate. We had this 2 of Wands here, so maybe you're relocating, right? I see somebody packing their bags. This is going to lead to marriage. You just have to believe it. If that's what you desire, then that's what you will have, y'all. Yeah, you got a divine masculine who's a visionary. You have a divine masculine who's a visionary. This is someone who they come in, they strategize first. They do. Your person can have a gold necklace with a charm on the end of it. A gold necklace with a charm. A black on black watch, black band, and black face. Right? But this is someone who's a visionary. They are a leader. They take time to consider and strategize for their future. So you have to have confidence, because this is someone who they're not going to move quickly because they need to be stable first, y'all. See, we get used to people who want to move quickly, y'all, and they rush you into situations. They love bomb you. All of these things happen and then it's over with. See, when you meet your true divine masculine, they are a visionary. They have a vision for their life and the life that they want to build with a partner. But when you're a visionary, y'all, it takes time to build the vision. There's a divine masculine here who's working on stability, but you have to let go of the burdens that you've been carrying. Somebody, you need to talk to your mom less. Yeah, I'll make it up. Sad news came out. Somebody, you need to talk to your mom less. I got bad news over here. So this could be a dual message. This could be for you and your person, right? Because I got a masculine energy here that said bad news. And then I have a feminine energy that says sad news. And I have motherly love, talk less. You need to talk to your mother less. And I say that because we feel like our mothers are loving, they're nurturing, they're caring, and maybe they are, right? Hell, I ain't saying that your mama a bad person. What I'm saying is, though, if your mother has not had the same type of love that you have, or that you're experiencing, or that you deserve, or that God has ordained for you, then that means that they're not going to understand what it is that you're going through. See, a mother's love and presence build a foundation for a child's emotional well-being and trust. So you may trust your mother, but if your mother has divorced your father, has been in abusive relationships, has never truly been happy with themselves, much less a divine counterpart, then you cannot be talking to someone who does not understand that, because every time you talk to your mama, you get disappointed. You're disappointed. You want somebody who's going to encourage you in this love, but they cannot encourage you in this love because they don't understand it. It's important to maintain consistency in your actions and talk less to people who do not have the same vision that you have. All it's doing is setting you back. All it's doing is setting you back, divine feminine. Yeah, it's setting you back. It's bringing some type of imbalance to what it is that you're trying to change. September 23rd or March 23rd could be significant. Someone could be in the justice system, court, paralegal, but it's stopping you from making the decisions that you need to make for yourself, because you are the visionary of your own life. Somebody, you got to get off that brown liquor. You got to get out. You got to stop drinking. You could be experiencing hard times right now. But you got to realize something about brown liquor, y'all. It says spirits such as whiskey, cognac, and rum are used to celebrate successes, honor ancestors, and bring people together. But you got to get to the point where you drink for relaxation, but don't drink if you're trying to numb it. Because all you're doing is stopping and looking up, and you still looking like this. Hard times. Hard times. Somebody, your mother could have a drinking problem, is what I heard. Your mother has a drinking problem. Your mother's trying to bury her brokenness in drinking. Somebody could be facing financial difficulties. A lot of challenges. Someone could be facing health-related challenges as well, or your mother. Yeah, that's coming right over motherly love and hard times. I feel like your mother could be experiencing hard times. Take care how it resonates. This could be a mother figure. Hell, it could be a friend of yours, right? With that motherly energy that has kids. But someone is experiencing hard times right now. And you are growing. Leaps and bounds is what I heard. You can't get sucked into other people's stuff. Because I see a divine feminine who's carrying a lot of shit on your back. Like a lot of people, a lot of stuff, a lot of hard times on your back. You are not meant to. See, things are changing for you, child. You packing up, you leaving, you moving. You don't have time to be carrying someone else's burdens. Somebody, your dad could have been a cognac drinker or whiskey. Your daddy like that brown liquor. Yeah, there's a coming together that's taking place. Someone's favorite color could be green. See, you're meant to change generations and bring people together to unite, to honor the past, and to celebrate the present. See, what God is calling you to do also is bring yourself. See, there's an internal reunion is what I just heard. There's an internal reunion that's taking place within you, and you're being called to celebrate the present and prepare for the future. And when you're dealing with people who are going through hard times and difficulties for themselves, they will stop you from enjoying the life that you are creating and building for yourself. That's that phony trickster energy. That's that phony and trickster spirit. You got to march on. See, you're being called to move forward and be the leader that you were meant to be. And anyone who cannot appreciate that, support that, and aid in that, they got to be left behind. Other people's hard times cannot stop you from doing what it is that God has called you to do. You got to march on. You got to keep moving forward. You got to continue to advocate for positive changes in your life. See, you're a community leader. There are still people around you that need you, and you can't be sucked into anybody else's theft Destiny swapping is just what I heard. I just heard destiny swap. September 24th, March 24th could be significant. I heard destiny swap when I saw this theft card. See, somebody is trying to take away your joy. Somebody is trying to take away your happiness. Yeah. Because they aren't happy with themselves. Y'all got to think, if it's people around you, even family, right, that aren't happy with themselves, they will send so much negative energy to you because they want the joy that you have. They want the house that you have. They want the living space that you have. But really, they want the peace that you have. Somebody, this could be a roommate, somebody that you live with, right? But this is someone who wants what it is that you have. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it, child, and the world ain't take it away. That's what I heard. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. And there is someone in your energy, divine feminine, who is trying to destiny swap with you because you are building a life that they never had the ability to do because they didn't want to do the healing work. You need to be a little more private about your space and your intimate living space. Let me tell y'all something. Even when I'm here at my condo, I don't let people sleep in my room. Even if they at my house, right? I might have people come over and watch my kids and anybody, y'all. It's no tea, no shade. I don't let people sleep in my room. My kids can, because they have the pureness of my energy. But like to let adult people sleep in my room, never. That mug can be empty for months. You won't sleep in my room, right? Because that is your personal space. And you build and protect the energy of your personal space. This has been a long road, divine feminine. This is your journey. This is your journey. This is a path, right? And sometimes natural disasters come in. What's this natural disaster? Woo, twins. Child, twins, your twin. Somebody you could be a twin, like a natural twin. You could have a twin sister, twin brother, right? But twins are often considered as a symbol of love and affection and are believed to possess supernatural blessings. There's something supernatural that's taking place between you and your twin, is what I'm hearing at this time. See, both of these cards has natural. See, God will destroy some things naturally in order to rebuild some things. Yeah, what's your channel song? Me and You by Cassie. Me and You. Nature can be strong and harmful, showing our vulnerability and Mother Nature's power. Oh, I just heard God just stepped in to rebuild something or repair something naturally. That's literally what I just heard. Look, I don't make it up. Yeah, y'all finna come to some type of an agreement. I see a handshake here. See, when you begin to appreciate the small things that God is doing in your life, that's when you begin to naturally, right, through the universe, through God, through the divine, magnetize in your twin. Somebody, is really just about you understanding the importance and taking the initiative to truly appreciate God, appreciate where you come from, appreciate the fact that you're no longer that person. And then you have love, right? Appreciate the fact that you have love, even if it's not the love or ideal situation, is what I'm hearing. Even if it's not the ideal situation, is love. Yeah, it's love, right? It may not be ideal, but it's not that the person isn't ideal. It's just that the timing is not ideal. When you meet your person, it may not be the ideal time, but it does not mean that it's not your person. The number 15 could be significant. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 is change. And I just saw 38 on the timer. March 15th could be significant. But there's some type of a partnership and agreement that's about to take place because God had to step in naturally to bring this twin love together, y'all. Twin love, right? Twin love. This is childhood. Y'all have been together, right, for a very long time. Past lives, y'all, past lives. You and your person have been together, even as children, right? This is a love that is endearing. So when your person has a what do you call that? Ooh, my brother used to call them that low cut, but it's low all around. Maybe a slight fade, but it's like that low cut all around. All right, your person could have that, what do you call that thing? When you know how you cut your sideburns and you line them up and match it there, child? Yeah. This is a part of your heritage is what I'm hearing. Yeah, this is a part of your heritage. See, you're meant to pass this down for generations as a valuable legacy. Let me tell you about twin flame union, y'all. When you in union with your twin flame and y'all raise families together, have children together, whether that's blended or natural children together, you show and teach your children what true unconditional love is. So of course they're gonna meet their twin, y'all. Of course they are, because you've instilled it. Y'all have a friend of mine that I follow on Facebook. She was a client years ago, and we still follow each other. Right? And I love her. Her and her husband are beautiful, beautiful spirited people. And I think they have 4 or 5 girls, all girls, y'all. All of their girls are adults now. They all have gone to college, graduated college, and every single one of them, even the baby girl, is now getting married. Beautiful women with beautiful spouses, y'all. Kings, real kings. But why? Their dad is a king and their mom is a queen. And when you raise children, they will also be what? Kings and queens. And that is how you build a legacy, y'all. That is how you break generational curses. It's easy. Raise your children up to respect union. Don't be telling your girls, you don't need a man. You can do it on your own. Stop telling people that, y'all. You're promoting separation. You're promoting the idea that you don't even need to be with anybody. But you cannot build kings and queens, kingdoms, right, without 2 people. Yeah, you can do it on your own. Absolutely you can. No, you don't have to be married. You don't, right? But I ain't seen no kingdom without a king and a queen. Let's be clear. And this is about your heritage. This is about promoting unity consciousness for generations to come, y'all. 41 on the timer. Let me get out of here. This is getting long. I did a poll, y'all. I got to look at the poll results because I didn't see if y'all like the longer messages or the shorter ones. But, you know, sometimes you need a little more information. But I'm definitely going to look and see what you guys voted for. Restoration is coming to somebody's divine union. Yeah. Restoration is coming to your life as well. Your person works on cars. It could be a mechanic, or they restore old cars, or this could be you. But God is repairing and renovating and restoring anything in your life that required planning and diligence. See, the thing about, this is what I'm hearing God say, the thing about restoring an old car, that shit don't happen overnight. Sometimes you got to order the parts, is what I just heard. Sometimes you got to order the parts. Sometimes you got to wait on the parts to come in. You might get something and it's the wrong make or model. Then you got to send it back. Restoring, y'all, restoration takes time, y'all. Restoration takes time. But you sitting in a lot of great fortune, divine feminine. Someone could be 26 years old. The number 26 could be significant. 6 and 2 is 8. There's a lot of great fortune that you've manifested for yourself. This is fulfillment. This is happiness. This is joy, right? See, you're living in purpose. Living in purpose. And when you live in purpose, everything is restored. Somebody, if your person is locked up, they getting out, is what I just heard. That's very specific, not for everybody. But for others, you're being released from your own prison, which is limitations, self-limiting doubts, things that constrain your energy so that you can truly focus on what it is that you want. You're being vigilant, or being called to be vigilant, to create your life from scratch. Somebody, you could be a baker, you could bake bread or cakes from scratch, but you're being called to create the life that you want from scratch. And that starts with you being vigilant, right? Vigilant and patient and precise about what it is that you want. See, you creating this life without any ingredients, child, because you the main female. You the main female. So you're creating this life from scratch, child. You ain't had no ingredients. You ain't had no blueprint. Because when you're breaking generational curses, y'all, you the first one to do it. Let's be clear. When you're breaking generational curses, you are the first one to do it. So you are, divine feminine, the blueprint. You are the blueprint. You are the main female. So you are building a life from scratch. You're making something from nothing, which creates the ingredients. You creating it, right? You are preparing it. Beautiful. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else from my divine feminine? All right, somebody, you walking into abundance. Somebody, you may win money. I heard play the scratch off. Somebody, you better go get you some scratch off tickets. But you winning, right? You're a woman of affluence, right? You're gaining. It's a part of your inheritance, y'all. It is a part of your inheritance is what I just heard. All right. Yeah, child. Rich lady. Y'all, we got main female, win money, and rich lady. You just had to let go of the baggage, child. Things are moving forward. This is the number 11 and 12. Main female is the number 2, right? February 11, February 12, 212. Could be significant. 211. You could be catching 211 on the clock, right? But you're meant to live a life of luxury, y'all. So when you meant to live that type of life, then guess what? You will. Because God never forgets the promises. God never forgets the promises. The promise of God are yes and amen. Love and light as always. The Lady Empath, 1111.